But JT, welcome. We're so glad to have you in with us today. We appreciate you making the trip because you're on the other side of the bridge, right?
The far other side of the bridge. Yes.
Beyond
that
the west.
scary transition that people don't want to make. Yes,
Yeah.
on the beach.
When I
You're
first moved here, people would say, I don't cross that bridge. And I kept hearing stuff about that bridge. And I was thinking, what is this? Is like, are trolls underneath it? Or well, I didn't know what the whole thing was about.
It's the look that you get when you talk to somebody on the beach and you say, I'm going into town, and it's that look. You're across the bridge?
I know.
Yeah. I got to go over into town. Where are you going? I'm going to the mall. They keep giving you that look like you're really going to cross the bridge.
I know.
It's bad, and it goes both ways. The people
I know
on the
it
beach
does.
don't want to go into town.
I know.
Into town.
Are you going to the beach? They look at you funny.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
The beach?
It's like they make a weekend out of it.
Yeah,
We're going to go into town this
We
week.
got to go to the mall, but while we're there, we're going to go ahead and get a hotel, and we're going to do a little shopping this weekend, and we're going home.
It does take a while to go back and forth.
Well, if you're going from in town, say the mall, and you're going out to Pier Park or beyond, yeah, it'll take you a little while.
Yeah.
Normally, if there was no traffic, 15 minutes. Now it took 45, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
This is people that grew up in a small town that are calling it a while. Like
Yeah.
I grew up in Atlanta, so a while is 2 hours.
Yeah.
Down to
Exactly.
75. So
Yep.
anything here is short distance.
You
that
bet.
big, long 30-minute drive when your car doesn't get over 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, about this time of the year, we all kind of celebrate because it really does start, the traffic just kind of tapers off.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean,
I was out there today, and it was pretty fast.
I think all of that came about really, when I say came up, the traffic was when about the time Pier Park came in, because there's so much to do there.
Yeah.
There's so many people going. I'm not blaming them. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
The people are enjoying it, but that's when it all really kind of got, because you can drive, just fly down 98, and then when you get about a mile or so from Pier Park, all of a sudden it's
At the
bumper to bumper.
Harley location.
Yeah, I
it
wish they
starts
would
to
come
slow
up with
down.
some other sort of plan
They're working
to
on
get
some
traffic, off that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. You got 2 lanes of traffic sometimes, and they're turning left, and or you got 1 lane and 1 turn lane, and it's all backed in. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
It'll get better. We're growing, so that's a good thing.
Well, that is
This
a
is
good
true.
thing. Absolutely,
This is true.
At least the storm traffic's over. Now that was a nightmare.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm glad that's
I've seen the last lift kit truck that I really need to see.
Yeah, I know. Or any
Yeah.
kind of construction truck. Although I'm grateful for them, don't get me wrong.
But good Lord Almighty.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
been solid for a year, almost a year now.
I
Does
know.
everybody in
And it's so
construction
hard to
have to have a
believe.
lift kit on their truck? Because it's like they just be driving along, and I felt like sometimes they were just going to come up over the top of my car and just keep going.
You drive too slow, that might happen, Randy.
No, I drive the right way. Heidi will tell you. Ask her sometime. She knows I am an expert driver. I can turn and do all. I mean, it's natural.
They can probably see her laughing in the background, right?
Yeah.
She's smiling because the last time we rode together, she was like, "Man, your driving's unbelievable. I've never seen anybody drive like you drive."
It's getting deep in here. I think
Yeah,
it's time
yeah,
for
I
us to
picked my
change
feet
the
up a few
subject.
minutes ago.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I don't know what she meant by it, but she did say, your driving amazes me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I wanted to remind everybody about the major tailgate giveaway that we have, and we've already had several shares, but if you go on our Facebook page at 104.3 ESPN Panama City, and it's pinned to the top of the page, like it and share it for a chance to win. We will continue to monitor that through the first football game Saturday night, and we'll draw it on Monday on air.
Hard to believe, college football
Yep.
just
2
2 days
days.
away. That is absolutely fantastic. Don't forget, tomorrow we have a dynasty on board at 4:30 tomorrow. It's the Bowden dynasty. Tommy Bowden will join us here on the program at 4:30.
Yeah, and I've told several people that, and everybody immediately thinks of Terry. Because they were like, no, he's the one that was at Auburn. I said, no, this is the one that was at Clemson.
Yeah, this was the one that handed the job to Dabo as an interim head coach, and look what he's done with it. I'm just so curious to hear what his response to that would be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've
That's
heard
gonna
he's a
be
really,
exciting.
really great guy, good, down-to-earth
And don't forget, tomorrow, Fan Friday as well. Chef Chris will be our Fan Friday guest tomorrow. And the excitement, if you can read excitement through a text, I mean, he was like so fired up. He's
That's
ready
awesome.
to go.
I wonder if he's going to bring food again.
I don't know. He's probably listening now. So if you say, I wonder if he's bringing food.
He is now.
Hint, hint. There you go.
Well, they've been so good to us so far. I really hate to ask, to be honest. But
Yeah. And then, of course, Saturday is the big fantasy league drawing.
Live draft.
Live draft. Why do I keep saying drawing? It's a draft. I get it confused with the Kentucky Derby. They have the pill pull, and I just get it confused. So anyway, so it's the draft.
Yeah, so if you are in our league, you must be present to participate.
Beefs opens at Lynn Haven at 11 o'clock. Come on in, get a seat, and as soon as everything is ready to go and everybody's settled in, the draft will begin.
That's right. I'm just going along for the ride.
Would you do me a favor when you get there? Just find out if you can get those shank bones with the
I'm gonna
whatever
ask
it is
about
on
them.
it. See if it's just a regular menu item.
Now, see, after we talk to JT,
Yeah.
you're going to realize that maybe that's not the best thing for you to eat.
Listen, I know all about that. I mean, it's protein.
No, it's
you got to
meat.
stay off the
It's
carbs,
okay.
stay off the sodas, all that. Got to stay off the sugar. Am I right?
Yeah, so far.
Now listen, I know how to do it. It's just the doing part
it,
is
yeah.
the difficult part. I mean, I lost 75 pounds one time, and it was diet, exercise, and hitting the gym 6 days a week.
It's simple.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
just not that easy.
That's
You're
right.
exactly right. It
There's
is
a big
simple.
difference between those
It
two.
is.
Yes.
Absolutely. I went to my doctor and I said, I wrote on the back of one of my business cards before I went in there, and I held my card, and he walked in, he said, God bless. He goes, you've lost some weight. I said, yeah, I sure have. He said, well, how'd you do it? I said, well, I got on the internet and I did this search of best diet. Now I said, I think it's this new fad. And he goes, new fad. And I said, yeah. He goes, what's it called? So I handed him my card, and on the back of it, it said diet and exercise. He said, I've been prescribing it for years. My patients hate it. But it works. Am I right?
That's the only way.
Yeah, exactly.
The only way. Eat
Everybody
right and work
wants-
out.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
We all want a quick fix. That's the problem.
Yes. That's, yeah.
I mean, 6
you're
months
right.
ago, he and I could have passed for twins.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've let myself go.
Yeah. Terrible, isn't it? So you're eating some bread too, I see.
Oh, my gosh. Is this a sports show? Let's talk some sports.
We are exercising
no,
is a
trust
sport.
me.
I
Yeah,
guarantee
no,
you
I
he does
know.
marathons. Look at this.
Sport.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, yes. He's going to talk to us about it's probably one of the fastest growing.
It is.
Sporting type
It's
events.
yeah. If you take MMA out of the mix,
Yeah.
and that's kind of a.
Do you do
tit for
MMA
tat.
too?
I don't.
Okay.
No. Obstacle course racing in general, not just Spartan. Spartan's kind of the. You give Spartan credit as kind of the NFL of the obstacle course racing
Right,
world.
right.
They're kind of the king.
More like a brand,
Yeah,
right.
but the sport in general is one of the fastest growing on the planet.
Wow.
It's everywhere.
Have you done Ironman?
No, now we're talking about a whole
two
different
totally-
endurance. Yeah,
yeah.
totally different thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, this is, crawling on your belly through the mud.
That's what they
under
do with
things
Ironman. And you bicycle and you swim.
Swim, bike, and run is an Ironman.
That's exactly
Right.
right.
I'm talking
I
about.
told you he knew what I was talking about.
But what they do with OCR is, literally, like my sister and her husband in South Florida do them all the time, and they have to jump over fire pits and things. It's an obstacle course, and it takes a lot of.
Imagine a military style
Yeah.
obstacle course.
Okay.
25-foot rope climbs, under and over stuff, overhang obstacles, pick up and move obstacles, rope pull obstacles, and.
Are you on a team or you going one-on-one?
Well,
on
I have
rope
a team
pull?
of folks. I train probably 50 or 60 people in any given time
We
for
need to
obstacle course
talk.
racing. But I've got a team. Team Evolve is a group of people that I train and coach twice a week, and we all go together, and then everybody just runs their race. So like we just did, I'm a Spartan SGX coach, but we do other races.
Yeah.
So we did the Bone Frog, which is an 11-mile obstacle course race and about 60 obstacles. So about every
Now, where
quarter
is that?
mile. That one was in the Carolinas.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and I try to keep them in the southeast for the team, so
Yeah.
we're not traveling all over the U.S., but we've got 2 more Bone Frogs in South Carolina. We got the Wicked Run coming up in 2 weeks. We do local events like the 9/11 Stair Climb. I got the team showing up to do that. Right now we're the largest team in that event. Great cause, by the way, so I'd love to
Yeah,
have a lot of
it
people
is.
come do that with us. We basically train all year. So
Right.
our season is January to mid-December. We get a couple weeks off when we start back up.
Oh, wow.
And
So-
see, he has a lot of people at the sheriff's department
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that participate.
In fact, that's where we train one of those days.
Yeah.
So
Is that right?
We practice.
Right up here on 77?
We did, but we outgrew that really fast.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we practice one day at Frank Nelson at the soccer fields.
Yep.
And we do a lot of plyometric exercises and strength and conditioning drills and speed drills and change of direction and sandbag work. Then on Saturday morning, we train for 90 minutes at the jail off Star Avenue.
Oh, is that right?
So we've got, it's a playground.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a 3 or 4 mile trek through the woods, tree obstacles. We've got tractor tires and buckets with rocks and logs and 25-foot rope climbs and different obstacles that we do to mimic a course. And I get to come up with whatever weirdness I come up with to take the team through every Saturday.
Well, I tell you,
So at least it doesn't get monotonous.
No,
That's
it does
for
not.
sure.
Oh, I
It's
bet
not
it
like
every
going out
practice.
running. Yeah.
And that's kind of the key, too, to taking care of yourself and working out, is doing different things. Cardio is cardio, but, just making sure you train and
All the
work out all the
muscles,
muscles of your body.
Sure.
Different parts, legs, whatever. So.
Yeah, I've made a transition over the years. I was, if you'd have been having this conversation with me 2 or 3 years ago, I was still 265.
Oh, wow.
Powerlifting, bodybuilding type of workouts. Was great at that.
Yeah.
But nothing else. You get very one-dimensional when you start doing things like that. So I was big and strong for that sport.
Right.
But I wasn't agile.
Right.
My flexibility stunk.
Yeah.
My cardio stunk. My knees and my, hips hurt.
Yeah.
So I've, the best thing about obstacle course racing is you can't be deficient in any area. It's grip strength, it's flexibility, it's mobility, it's cardiovascular conditioning, it's agility, it's strength, it's speed. If you stink at any of it, it gets exposed at a race.
See, and I'm out then.
Have you tried to throw one of those big tractor tires?
No, but I have trouble holding myself.
You roll them, right?
Yeah, we've got a couple that are right at 500 and 600 pounds that we're grabbing and flipping back and forth.
I did that. I said, no, go ahead and stack me up 3 of them. I was flipping 3 of them at a time. That's how strong I used to be.
This is so interesting, Randy.
What?
I didn't know these things about you.
Absolutely.
No, he's going to come out with us, and he's going to want us to bring cameras.
Well, listen.
You know what?
And film him
That's
doing
a
that with us.
Great idea.
My only fear is that I don't want to intimidate anybody.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate
I think
that.
It's a great
That's
idea.
admirable.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate
I
that.
want to make somebody uncomfortable, the whole intimidation factor. You know what I mean?
No, I think you should do it.
He's a humble man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
should do
got
it.
to be, really,
I think he should do it. I think this could be like a really great event.
So is there opportunity for people to get involved?
I'm pretty selective on the team.
Okay.
We've got a wait list for the team.
Okay.
Wow.
So I handpick everybody, or we'd have 200 people. Here, the biggest thing that I have with the team is I want the commitment.
Yeah.
People that are going to show up to practice.
Yep.
And you put their jersey on,
Yep.
and they're going to practice. They're going to show up to races. They're going to support the team and be part of the team. What I don't want to be is a show up if you want to work out
Right.
exercise class.
Yeah.
So I've got real far away from that. We've got everything from an app to jerseys with numbers and roster, and it's run like a team.
That's good.
And it's the only competitive obstacle course race team that's organized that I know exists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually it's just, like what you just said, people that do it to train and then they do the races
Right.
and,
Yeah, and occasionally some groups of folks will get together from, they talk on the internet and they'll get together and race,
Yeah.
but that organize and practice and train like a team, I don't know anybody else is doing.
Right, because the other ones, it's more like a weekend warrior type thing.
That's right. Yeah. And there are
Yeah.
those people that show up to races, let me tell you, that get off the couch and then show up to, a Spartan Beast, which is, a 12 or 13 mile race with some hefty obstacles, and they're in trouble. They get in trouble.
Well, my question is, and this is what I'm curious about the most, is with injuries, because just for example, with me, I have rheumatoid arthritis and just, problems with joints and things like that. And I have always been so active. I always worked out, all sports, cheer, all that stuff. And I miss it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And this sounds like so much fun,
It's a
but
blast.
I just afraid I would kill myself.
You know what? The majority of people that we have on the team started out unable to run a quarter mile, unable to touch their toes, unable to do 5 push-ups, not able to do 1 chin-up. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's the point is to come out and get outside your comfort zone. And my rule is don't stop moving. So I train people that are super fit, and then I got people that are just starting out, and it's the whole gang, and they train all together. And they're able to train together because it's not everybody do 20 push-ups. It's everybody do push-ups for a minute. You may get 1, he may get 5, you may get 22, whatever. And so I'm able to train everybody at the same time consistently, and everybody get a good workout regardless of where their fitness level's at. And everybody just continues to progress throughout the year. We do testing every 30 to 60 days, fit testing to force progression. I work with all those people in nutrition. So, when you put it all together, the the difference that it's made in the majority of the people on the team is substantial.
Oh, I've heard, so many people.
What part of it is most rewarding to you?
The last part that I just said, seeing somebody go from unhealthy, depressed, inactive, no self-esteem to a completely different person. I'm talking about changing jobs and, getting married and being excited about their lives and having energy again and coming off of medications and all the stuff that it comes with. I've been doing it for 27 years.
Well, see, I coach basketball, and that was what I always did. The cool part about it is you have a kid that can't even dribble the basketball,
That's right.
and to watch them just go through that transformation to the end, that you allow them an opportunity to actually score, and the parents about come out of their seats, and I mean it is that is the most rewarding part.
And then
coaching.
occasionally you'll get a kid that falls absolutely in love with it.
Yes.
And changes his life for it
Exactly.
and continues to play it.
Yep.
And you're the guy that did that.
And it's a good feeling.
And that's really cool. I actually know a couple people that are with you at this program, and I've seen pictures. I didn't know them until now, but saw what their lives were and what they're doing and the changes they made, and it gives me chills. It's so true.
Some of them are dramatic.
Yes. There's one person that I know, it was very dramatic and just changed the course of her life in which direction she was going to go.
Yeah.
And she looks awesome. She looks great.
Yeah. You know who I'm dying to, didn't know who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
Can you hang around a few minutes? We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah, I'm good.
A phone call as well. So
okay.
We'll take a quick time out and we'll come right
Here
back.
with James Thompson, a.k.a. JT.
We're just going to call him JT. If Mama call him JT, I'm going to call him JT.
Well, I put JT, and then I was like, JT Thompson. I'm like, wait a minute, that's redundant. That's not what it is.
no, even though I get called that a lot, it's James Thompson. That's where the JT came from.
Right,
Okay. But there's a lot of people that don't even know it's just Coach. So Coach or JT or Coach JT is what
There
most
you
people
go.
know.
Now, what did your mama call you coming up?
It was Jimmy growing up.
All right,
but then I had my son, and he took that over. So now he's Jimmy, and I became JT when,
I like the JT.
Yeah,
I
it
like
works. It works.
Well, we have a caller on the line. Are you there?
Yes,
What's your name?
Bill.
Where are you calling from, Bill?
Here in Panama City.
Wild Bill. You got a question?
Hey, JT, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
Oh, outstanding. Hey, I just wanted to call in, and, y'all hear about JT as being a nutritionist and the best of Bay County and what have you. My wife has been on his team since pretty much he started. But just to tell you guys, y'all hear about this coaching stuff, how great he is at that, and he is. But the person that him and his wife are is far beyond what he's doing with the coaching and stuff.
That's awesome.
We went through some stuff the first of the year, just to give you an example, and he'll know what I'm talking about. And my wife was in the hospital. Yeah, sorry if I get choked up about it.
That's all right. You go ahead.
But they sat on the phone with me at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on Sunday night for like 2 hours, talking to me through stuff. And that's not something they're getting paid for. That's not something he's doing, in his classes and I just can't, you hear people talking about once you're in with them, they're part of the family, whatever. It is an understatement with him and Bethany.
Man, I didn't know y'all were going to make me cry.
Care about the people involved with it.
I've heard the same thing. Absolutely.
And I just wanted to testify to it. And, it's, he's done a lot with me with the health stuff too, but just the personal stuff, I can't say enough about the man.
Awesome.
That means a lot. I appreciate you, brother. I love you.
I love you too, man. Give Bethany my best too.
You got it,
Tell her
man.
Christy said hi too.
Yes, sir.
I know
Bye,
we should have had Bethany on with you. We should.
I will drag her next time.
Yeah. We need to bring her back.
She's getting more and more outgoing because she's Coachette now.
Coach
How about
Ed.
She's
that?
Coachette.
Yeah.
She got her shirt that says Coachette. She's, she's
I love
prime
it.
time.
It's all about taking care of people, helping them when they need you.
It's all it's about. I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's
That's
just
what it's about.
the encouragement.
Absolutely.
Some people don't, some of us have confidence, some don't. Some it comes later, some it has to be.
Yeah, that goes
somewhat
back to
taught.
the simple but not easy part.
Yeah.
That's right.
It takes a little encouragement, and sometimes a lot of encouragement. There's a lot. Sometimes I can get through to somebody and we can change them in one meeting.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes 2 years.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
That's right.
Well, the fact you don't give up is the main thing.
Never, never.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, I'd like to hear a little bit more about the nutrition.
Sure.
Just, I mean, for those people that are listening that just, even want some basic information.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you recommend? If somebody hasn't, if they eat bad and they've never really tried to think about what they're eating.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some, I guess, some general rules that I would tell everybody, and we can kind of start with those. Overall, that's kind of like asking how a watch works.
I know. That's a very,
but I can roll with that. The very first thing I tell somebody to do if they didn't make any other changes at all is what I told you during the break: is cut your sugar out.
Yeah.
Sugar is, our body really doesn't need any sugar. We have to have protein or we'd die.
That's right.
We have to have essential fats or we'd die.
That's
We
right.
have to have water or we'd die. You don't have to have carbs. You could live without them, So having some carbohydrates is okay. And when I say carbs, I'm talking about not veggies. Okay. So fiber is taken out of that. So cut your sugar out. Rule 1, day 1 would be cut sugar out and try not to have any sugar. It's pointless. A little is not going to kill you, but no sugar.
Right.
What about, and substitutes, the same thing, right?
Well, and there's a lot of studies been done on this recently. So there's sugar alcohols, and I've got a lot of people that have argued this with me for years, but I've done the tests even on myself. You can take a lot of those sugar alcohols that are supposedly no sugar that get marketed, especially to diabetics, is okay to have, and test your blood sugar, and it spikes them exactly the same as it does regular sugar.
Is that not the craziest thing?
It is. And the reason that exists, here I go upsetting some people again, but what they do is
sometimes.
It does. Yeah. Sometimes it ends up hurting me more, but they take a sugar molecule and an alcohol molecule and split those molecules and marry that together, and that is now a sugar alcohol. So technically, according to the Food and Drug Administration, it's not sugar. So they don't have to list it as sugar. Right? It's a sugar alcohol. But it's like having a little bit of sugar and a little bit of alcohol. The way it's digested and stuff is a little different, but there's a lot of those sorbitol and stuff like that spikes your sugar just the same. It's a sugar-free candy that if you eat it, your blood sugar goes right up. So you have to be careful about that. Monk fruit, stevia, truvia, those are some of the ones that you can get away with. And those are actually, one of them's a leaf. In Thailand, it's just
So Truvia's okay.
It is okay. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee now. I was holding it over here, and I'm going to bring it over here because that's exactly what I put in it.
Yeah.
So I can continue, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there going, God bless, I don't want to drink a black cup of coffee.
What?
I just need
Step
something
one.
to take the edge off
You
of
passed
it.
step 1.
Oh, man, now I got to
Yeah.
go back to just chicken.
He's going to be
and
flipping
fish.
tires tonight now.
I know.
He's all in.
Tires.
Plural.
That is great. Yeah, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Because he was over there talking about sugars. I was like, oh, God, I hope he didn't ask me about my coffee.
I wasn't even looking at the cup, but,
I was sweating it there for a minute.
So no pasta, breads, all that stuff.
I would keep that stuff minimal.
Yeah.
Very minimal. And at the end of the day, you can eat anything you want. It's the amount that you have and the frequency
all
you have
about
that kills
portions.
everybody.
Yeah.
If you're eating clean and taking care of yourself 90% of the time and you eat pizza on Friday, it's not over.
No.
The problem that people have is they make it all or nothing.
Right.
They don't do it long term. So you eat clean Monday through Thursday or Friday,
Yeah.
and then you have a cheat meal, as they want to call it.
Yeah.
And they eat bad on Friday, and they say, screw it.
Yeah.
And they just throw the whole week, I'll start over Monday.
And then Monday comes and they don't start over.
No. Or if they do, it's for a couple days and they mess up and then they throw the week away again.
Well, my trainer used to tell me when he said, if you screw up and you eat something you're not supposed to do, he goes, move on.
That's it.
That's it. It's done. It's over. Don't let it completely throw you out of whack.
That's it.
Just keep going.
That on and off mentality is the fad diet mentality that people got to get over.
Yeah, you got to change your life.
It has to be
and the
forever.
way you eat, all of that stuff.
That's exactly. It's like any other body maintenance that you do.
Yeah.
You don't take one shower and you're done. Right? That's something
Right.
I would suggest doing on a daily basis.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't, there's a price to pay.
That's exactly right.
Brushing your teeth, combing your hair, paying your taxes, going to work. Those are things you don't negotiate with yourself.
What about the people that say, you know what? It's more expensive to eat healthy.
It is if you compare a cheeseburger and fries to a grilled chicken salad, but all of the other junk that you buy and all the medicine that you buy and all the sodas that you buy, and if you add it all up, the amount of money that you spend eating clean and not eating all the extra junk that you buy at the convenience store and ice cream on the weekends and whatever,
it balances out. Yeah,
it does.
Now, do you meal prep?
I do.
Yeah.
And when I say meal prep, I do it in a very easy way. My life does not revolve around fixing my food and going to the gym.
Yeah.
Good, because that's the part that worries me.
It doesn't need to.
But it really makes it a whole lot easier because I used to do the same thing. And if I got back to that would really, because what I used to do is on Sundays, I would grill a bunch of chicken.
That's right.
And I would put it in a container, and then I would cut up my, salad, cucumbers, tomatoes, whatever I wanted in individual ones. So when it came time to eat, it was just simple.
Yeah,
it was
makes it
already,
easier.
the chicken was
That
already cooked.
makes
Just cut it
all
up,
the difference
boom,
in the
boom,
world.
boom, and you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Because that's when we mess up, because it's convenience.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
especially depends on
You
your
got to
life.
plan a little bit.
You absolutely have to. And if we're busy, I mean, I get up at 5:45 in the morning. I'm at the house by 6, and I go
Yeah.
all the time. I don't have time to stop and fix a meal.
Right.
Or typically desire to stop and fix a meal.
Right.
But if I get up first thing in the morning and it's all cooked,
Yeah.
and I can just throw it in bowls, and it's in a cooler in my car right now.
And
So-
you can still eat out and eat healthy.
Yes,
too.
you can.
You go to a restaurant,
Yep.
you can get a salad, go easy on the dressing,
That's right.
that kind of stuff.
Smart choices
Yeah.
overall. That'd
Yeah.
be number 2, is just make smart choices.
Yeah.
Most people know what's good and what's bad
Right.
in general.
Right.
Cut the bad crap out first.
Yeah.
And then just start making more educated decisions on, what's protein? How much of that do I need? How many carbs do I really need? What about essential fats? I got to add them back in. That's where it starts to get more tricky. But fundamentally, if you're sitting on your butt and you're eating 1 or 2 meals a day of junk food,
Yeah.
change that.
Yeah.
Start eating a little more frequent. Get your water intake up. Cut your sugar out and start moving.
And keep you a bag of almonds or something around just to munch on as a snack.
I do that. Well, okay, I have a question. I keep hearing all this stuff, even like Coach Saban with his players at Alabama, the fasting.
Intermittent fasting.
The intermittent fasting. Okay. Is that just a fad? Is that good for your... See, I grew up
Intermittent
being
fasting-
taught not to starve your body.
That's right. And
So it's
that's
like
a
the
good rule of thumb.
opposite.
All right. Intermittent fasting has been around for 25 years. Okay. Intermittent fasting should be done intermittent. Not intermittent as in on the hours in a day, but like once every couple months. Fasting is healthy to let your body just heal and purge. It's not
Right,
unhealthy
right,
to do a little fasting occasionally. But think about it this way. Most people get up in the morning and they do or don't eat breakfast.
Right.
Most don't until late morning. A lot of people don't eat until lunch.
Right.
Okay. And then they eat
A big lunch because they're starving.
That's right. And then they'll eat through until about 8 or 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night when they go to
And then
bed.
Stop. Yeah.
and then that food just lays
intermittent
there
fasting
all
window,
night long.
right?
Yeah.
If that worked, eating between 1 and 9 p.m. and then fasting until 1, if that worked, we'd have a bunch of lean people walking around by accident.
That's what I thought.
It doesn't work.
The more I try to fast,
No.
I'm starving.
Here's how intermittent fasting would work. You're eating horrible, tons of calories, not moving, not exercising, and you go to an intermittent fasting diet, you clean it up and you start working out and it's magic. Right? That's why it works. That's why any diet works in the beginning, is because you've made some fundamental changes to decent food and you started exercising a little bit. Anything works in the short term.
Yeah.
But you cannot eat that infrequent and expect your metabolism to stay sped up
That's right.
and be, active and do all the things it needs to do. And you do need to eat before you go to sleep. That's another big one that everybody wants to cut
Yeah.
off food at 6 o'clock.
I don't know why people can't get their arms around the whole metabolism thing, because you hear people say, oh, my God, that guy eats all the time and he is skinny. Well, that's why he's skinny, because he eats all the time. His body is just processing.
You can't go find anybody that's an athlete that knows what they're doing to any degree, that's healthy, that takes care of themselves, that's fit, that eats 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah.
I know,
They
it's
all
just
eat
like
frequent.
5 or 6 small meals.
We have to think about it in simple terms. You have to have X amount of calories for the day to maintain your basal metabolic rate. Okay, let's say let's just say 1,500 calories a day to maintain. You can't eat that in one meal,
No.
right? Even if you could, your body can't use it that way. That's like drinking a gallon of water right now.
Right.
You can't use. We don't have like a reservoir.
No.
You got to use it when you take it.
That's right.
Right. So break that up over those meals in small amounts as your body needs it and can use it. Mm-hmm. And
Makes sense.
that's why. And the only thing that speeds up your metabolism is frequent meals.
Yeah.
There's no medicine that does it. Exercise doesn't do it. Drugs don't do it. It's frequency of meals. Your metabolism speeds up, keeps your insulin sensitivity right. You don't become insulin resistant by having the extra carbs. And, it's that's the reason that I do it. It's because I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has good results. It's
You know,
not
when
just about appearance. Yeah.
When I did it, I mean, it was like I felt better then than I'd ever felt my entire life.
Sure.
Even in high school, I felt better
Absolutely.
then than I felt in high
I
school.
heard a lot of people say that. They
It's
physically
crazy.
and mentally
Yes.
better than they've ever felt in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. The oldest guy I work with right now is 93.
It's crazy.
And he goes to the
Mind
gym 6 days a week.
sharper, everything.
Okay, so I'm going to throw the smoke screen out, and I'm sure you hear this excuse a lot, but for females, you know, as we get older and go through changes in our body and our metabolism slows down, that's like one of the aspects of it. Or am I just making an
That's a cop-out.
excuse?
No, everyone's does. It's not just a woman thing.
Okay.
But whilst you also got on there with the direction I thought you were going at was hormones.
Yeah, menopause. That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Your hormones change and drop off and become an issue, and guys too. In fact, guys, it doesn't get talked about enough for guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody that's over 30 years old that doesn't take great care of themselves has very low testosterone levels. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Guys that walked around in the 50s and 60s had testosterone levels of like 1,000 to 1,200 normally. But you're talking
You
about
didn't have McDonald's and all that garbage that people
we're
are
much
eating
more
now.
sedentary. We
Yeah.
eat garbage food.
Yep.
We've genetically we're pushing it out of our bodies.
Yep, that's
You
right.
know, we're not nearly as active as we used to be just
That's
on
right.
a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And then you have all the hormones and stuff in our food that we eat.
Yeah.
Heavy metals. I mean, all that contributes.
Yeah.
So it's just getting bred out of us. So guys and girls, I would tell anybody this. If you're over 40 years old and you haven't went and got any blood work done, go get blood work done.
Oh, yeah.
And look at your hormone panel and make sure that your physician is good with and does a hormone panel and looks at that in whole. And then I'm an anti-med guy in general. I don't like medications.
I don't either.
I'm in favor of staying off of any that you can. Hormones are just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am in favor of hormone replacement therapy, meaning be smart about it. Don't abuse them. I'm not in favor of the street versions. Right?
Yeah.
But doing small amounts as overseen by your physician to get your hormones back to normal, your body will react the same way it did when you were in your 20s and 30s.
Wow.
So
JT, we
there's
could talk
hope,
about
right?
this all day long.
I know.
Yeah, good too.
You'll
You're
come
going to have
back?
to cut me off. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to come back.
Yeah.
And bring the wife with you next
I
time?
will. I'll drag her with
The coachette.
Coachette.
That'd be awesome. Thanks
Bethany.
a whole bunch, man. Enjoyed
Yeah,
meeting
Yeah,
you.
you got it, man. I appreciate
Really
you guys. Thank you.
appreciate
We'll
it.
take a quick time out, and then we'll come back. Go ahead.
He's got a question. How can someone get in touch and start working out with the team?
Okay. Couple ways. You can, if you Google Evolve with JT, then you'll see all my social media stuff. I just released a podcast that's out. Facebook and Instagram, etc. My phone numbers are all on that, but my phone number direct 850-276-5343 or evolvewithjt.com. And just let me know that you're interested in that, and I'll forward you the information, and we'll get together and talk and see where we stand.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We can put that on our Facebook too.
Love it.
All right, and we'll take a quick time out. We're back after this. Be looking for me at the next event.
You got it, man.
I'm
I'll have the
there.
tires ready.
Get those tires ready. 104.3 ESPN, Panama City.